Hey guys, how's it going? Fantomic here, bringing you another video, and today's video is basically, I don't know if I've ever mentioned in the past that I'm actually on an A2 license. So that basically means is my SV650 is a restricted motorcycle. So how I came to be on a restricted license, being the fact I'm over the age of 24, was I passed my Mod 1 when I was 22. But then things cropped up and I didn't have the funds to basically take the test in good time. So basically I was 24 when I passed my Mod 2, but because I took my Mod 1 on a A2 applicable bike, I got lumbered with a A2 license. If you're looking at taking an A2 license, now obviously if you're only 6 months, 8 months away from turning 24, wait. But if you're like 17, 18, 19, and you're thinking about taking A2 and you're wondering, do you wait? Hopefully this video will help you make them decisions. So first off, do I think you should take your A2 license, or do I think you should wait? Take your test. If you've got the funds, do it. Some of them advantages would be you could do motorways. Now getting A to B, if you could do an A1, I would say don't bother wasting your money, because you could take pillions, but you're still stuck on a 125 at the end of the day. It's a bike that doesn't have that much power. And they struggle with most people of just one, never mind taking 2 people on that motorcycle. I would say, compared to the A1, I would wait if you're thinking of doing the A1. You've only got like 2 years to wait. It's not a big deal. I'm not saying don't get your CVT, don't get a 125. I'm just saying don't go doing your whole test, because at the end of the day, when you pass that A1 test, you're still only stuck on a 125. You just can take off your L plates and do some motorways. Doesn't really help you that much with a 125. So with that basis is why I'm saying, like, if you can wait, get an A2, because at least with an A2 the advantage is, one, motorway on a bike that can do motorway speeds. You don't have to go for the biggest, fastest bike in the A2 category. It can be a 250, but a 250 will still sit at 70 miles an hour to a degree, a lot more comfortable than a 125. It's not going to be revving its nuts off. It's also going to be a little bit more applicable for carrying pillions and things like that. You're going to have that little bit easier job. Because the weird thing is, I found when I was on my brother's 125 before I had a motorcycle, because I had a 50cc, that went great, and I sort of skipped the whole 125 personally. I didn't have a 125 of my own. I sort of skipped that altogether, and I sort of found that 99% of the time you would have more people up your backside with L plates. Even though you're a learner, even though in theory people should be giving you more space because you're a learner, you're learning, they're happy to sit right up your backside, and it's annoying as hell. So losing them sort of gives you a little bit more leeway on the road, I find, since not having L plates. If I jump on my brother's bike, I guarantee people are up my backside. On this bike, I don't know, I just seem to get less of that, which is why I never have like compilations of bad drivers and things like that, because I just sort of never run into that kind of content. It's never really a big thing for me. Another thing is, then you get out of the 125 insurance category, you get off the 125s, which basically means when you're a learner, you've got no choice. You're looking for a 125. Now, regardless of the bike, they come at a premium. They generally do, because you have no choice. You have to have a 125. Now that means a lot of places can charge a little bit extra, because they know that some learner is going to be more than happy to pay that price, because they have no other choice but to get a 125. And then the insurance category follows suit, because you're a learner, you pay more. And you could be, and here's the thing, you could be a learner that has 5 years experience, you still pay more. It doesn't matter, you will still end up paying more than if you just got your full license and was paying for the equivalent, you know, for the same amount. You know, if you change the bike to a 250, your insurance will drop. So that's another advantage of going and getting that A2 license, is the fact is you get out of that expensive price category. And the other advantage is bike choices open up to you. You have the range of 250s, 300s, 400s, 500s, 650s, and you have a lot more choice, you have a lot more variety. And for me personally with the A2 then, is that because you have more variety, you can really narrow down the kind of bike for you. Like most, you know, not everyone, but a lot of people are like, I want a sports bike. You might get on a sports bike and go, do you know what? This is hurting my wrists. My butt is hurting. My back is hurting. This position is just not comfortable. I don't like doing long commutes on it. And it might not be the bike for you, but at least you can find out. It makes life a lot easier. And it means then if you ever get an A license, because not everyone really needs an A license, if you find a bike that you're comfortable on, and maybe it's a bike that's not even restricted, you might just personally go, you know, I just don't need a bigger bike. But even if you do go for that A license and you do go for that bigger bike, you then sort of know what kind of motorcycle you're into, what kind of style that, you know, your body allows you to ride. Because sometimes your mind's like, and your heart's like, I like this, but maybe you just physically can't do it, because not everyone's the same. Disadvantages that come with that is, if you go for like a 650, you find that the tax group is more expensive than an R6, because you're above the 600 category, which sucks, really does, but it's one of them things really, isn't it? Just one of them things. And insurance wise, you will be paying a premium, because for me, when I told them I had a 650, they were like, oh yes, £300. It's like, oh, but I'm restricted because I'm on an A2 license. Oh, the bike's restricted. Oh, hang on. Tap, 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 keyboard, 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 buttons, buttons, you know. Oh, okay, well, your new price is £355. Why? Because it's restricted. But there's no difference. It means I have a more powerful bike that goes slower, top end wise, due to the restriction, but you're slapping me with a £50 fee because my bike goes slower. But the thing is, a lot of people will say, well, just don't tell them, you know, save the money. Depending on the other person's insurance, if you get into an accident, it's their fault and they got to pay out, they may send someone over to examine your bike, and then they may contact your insurance company to find out what your policy and what you included in your policy and things like that. And it not being registered as restricted could void your insurance and cancel a payout. And it goes the same way that if you cause an accident, and even if no one else was involved, be like, do you know what, I can't afford to get my bike fixed, I'll just claim on the insurance, I'm fully comp. They can then say, I'm sorry, but you know, you didn't tell us it was restricted. There's no way we can pay you, your insurance is void. Tough luck. It's like, oh, okay. So is it really worth it? No, it's not. Just tell them, pay the extra, you know, and then have that peace of mind. And just think, in a year's time, 2 years time, if you don't have any claims, your insurance will come down naturally, and it won't make that much difference when it's restricted or not, because it'll get slightly cheaper each year. Another disadvantage is then, you know, being on an A2 is the fact that you can't ride any bike you want. And like I said, if you're young enough, you can make full advantage of, like, you have plenty of years before you can even take the test. You know, because I'd still say a 19-year-old go till he's 24 on an A2 and then go and take the test, and it won't be that big of a deal. But I think that covers all the bases. There's advantages to it and there's disadvantages to it, and if you're like me and you're over the age, The disadvantage is basically you just got to reset your test. That is the only disadvantage, because it's not genuinely cheap. But yeah, I hope this makes helps you make your decision if you're looking to get an A2 or not. And I hope you do it. If you've got the funds, I hope you take advantage of it. But I will catch you in the next one. If you think it's worth it or not, just leave a comment down below on your opinion. I'd like to actually hear other people's opinions on it.